Hi, we are at NEMTAC 2025 Transform in Dallas, Texas, and I have the pleasure of meeting with Jeremy, who is the director with M7, Fleet NEMT Operation out of Connecticut. Jeremy, welcome.
Pleasure as always.
It's good to see you. We go way back, so it's good to connect and sit down.
Yep.
So let's jump right in. Just want to know what first got you, and maybe I'll talk about your dad too, interested in the NEMT industry.
Yeah, well, the funny thing about this industry is there's so many family-run businesses. So, like a lot of people in this industry, I was born into it, and like a good son, wanted nothing to do with it as soon as I left college. So, after a few years, different jobs, I found my way back to my family's business during COVID. That was a huge shock to the entire market. So really just wanted to help out the family's business, and it turned into, re-sparking my passion for the industry, which was really just comes down to helping people, and most people in a very sensitive part of their life. So, that's been the driving force that gets me out of bed, is just making sure that we focus on delivering core services to a population that needs it.
Beautiful. The second generation?
Second generation. Yep.
That's some weight on your shoulders. So how have you handled that?
Well, it's pressure, right?
Yeah,
but
of course.
Not bad pressure. So I'm excited to instill my own insights into the business and really drive it. My core focus has been getting transportation closer and closer to healthcare. I think traditionally transportation and healthcare have always been on opposite sides of the room. And half my job is education, just letting people know that they have resources out there to rely on, that they have a core company that really focuses on driving value rather than cost. So focusing in on our product offerings and expand them just beyond curb to curb to offer door-to-door, door-through-door services. I've seen that as a trend in the industry, and it's been a remarkable trend in the industry that I think we should really focus on.
I liked how you said that there's a connection between the transportation piece and the healthcare piece. Yeah. That separation and blurring the lines and making sure that the first contact you have is a positive experience with a professional NEMT company, a driver, and a high level of service.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll add to that and just say that, we firmly believe that NEMT is an extension of the healthcare industry. While we don't really share the same nuances of healthcare, we are very, very involved, and we found that most of our clients want the same care that their patients received inside of their doors to continue outside of their doors. So that's one of our missions, is to drive that forward.
Very well said. All right, so question, what's the best business advice you've received as you grew the company and continue to grow the company, I should say?
Yeah, so that's really, I forget who said it to me, but it was someone a few years back who just said, focus on the people and listen. Listening is one of the things in any interaction where you go in and you've got the exact idea of what to say in your head. You know what your product offering is, and you really want to make sure that they understand. But the first thing that you need to be worried about is understanding what they go through on a daily basis. So, we took the time to really interview a lot of our passengers and really figure out their stories and what their pain points are. And that's helped us in every aspect of our business, not just talking to facilities, but training drivers on passenger sensitivity, understanding what people feel when they enter our vehicle. You're getting in the car with a stranger in a sensitive part of your life. How does that play out in our car? So that's gone a long way with cultivating our service offering, and I think driven a lot of value for the passengers in our vehicles.
So this is very different than a lot of operators. So you've gone back and you've interviewed your passengers to get a better understanding of their needs and been able to use that information to better train your drivers in that process?
Yeah, I mean, knowledge is power. That's what my mom said since
so
I was
true.
born. So, really just asking questions is the best way that you can grow as an operator, because if you don't understand who's in your vehicle and you don't understand how they're going to feel in your vehicle, you're never going to be able to provide the service that they need. So that's really something that we like to focus on.
Well, very well said. I couldn't agree more. So next, what are you really excited about with the NEMT industry? I mean, what puts a smile on your face?
What excites me is I think the term NEMT. What is NEMT, right? Is it a
I've been asked a
healthcare
few times
contract?
that, yeah.
Yeah. Is it a healthcare contract? No. We're a taxi company.
Yeah.
We do a lot of work with transit districts. We do a lot of work with senior centers. We do a lot of work with self-pay passengers. Somebody calling us as a taxi company from a hospital, they still need NEMT service. It's just not a direct healthcare contract. So I think what excites me is just the scope of the services that we offer and the new ideas that are popping up. You see microtransit programs being launched in rural and suburban areas as a way to fill in the needs that are not met by fixed route transit.
Yep.
So, and they're very cost-effective programs. They're flexible. You don't have to order your ride 2 or 3 days in advance. A core principle of our business is demand response. So, the flexibility, and I think that the scope, as I mentioned, is really the most exciting part of the industry, because it expands well beyond healthcare. It's also just broadly social determinants of health, supporting
100%.
Income security, supporting mental health, and getting people who are stranded in their homes out into society and included in their local community. So
I really like that you said that about the mental health and getting them out of their homes. It's been a reoccurring conversation we've had with other TPs. It's that might be their only contact in a day, or sometimes multiple days. So what is that experience? And I like that the idea that the underserved, and we don't talk enough about this in our industry, is what about the population that we don't see? The rural population, the underserved, underprivileged individual that still needs to get to that appointment, whether it is for mental health, whether it's for dialysis, whether it is an actual doctor's appointment or picking up prescriptions, is that need that we see. So I really like that idea that we are, and I like to say it, and I've always said this, mobility for all.
Yeah.
That this is not, it doesn't matter your class, your creed, your race, your income level, that you, and I love this about being an American, is that in the United States, we guarantee that you will get the service and transportation to your appointment, whatever that may be.
Absolutely, and a walk in the park could be a mental health appointment for somebody.
Exactly.
It is as simple as that, getting outside and getting some grass under your feet.
Yeah,
that's
for
exactly.
Sure. Getting some sunshine.
Exactly.
On a cloudy day.
Some vitamin D never hurts.
I couldn't agree more. All right, switching gears, where do you see M7 in a year? And then where do you want to be 5 years from now?
Yeah, we really want, so in a year, we want to just keep driving our mission forward. I'd love to get more involved with micro transit. That's definitely a core focus of our business right now. I have transit districts in rural areas of Connecticut just asking, what do we do? We have these people who need to get to their appointments who just have no service possible. And I think one of the best parts about this, we launched 3 microtransit programs over the past year and a half. And one of them was in a very rural area. And there was no fixed route, there was no anything over there. And
so zero network that they could use or rely on.
Zero support. And so we got in, we launched the program. We've got over 2,200 trips a month with that program.
Really? That high? Wow, that's great.
Yeah, we're running our vehicles at almost max capacity, and it just goes to show that if you launch a program and people have those resources, they will get out. And a surprising amount of those trips are accessible. So it really proves that we're getting through, we're supporting the individuals that need it, and we're also supporting the key social determinants of health, which is we transport a lot of people to their jobs, and we transport a lot of students to school. So we have people who now parents have more flexibility to send their children on the ride to school because they know that it's a trained driver, they're credentialed, they're background checked through biometrics, and I think providing that peace of mind to them is really what we want to drive forward. So 1 year from now, 5 years from now, that's something that we want to keep driving forward.
The same focus with a growth model on that. And again, you're well diversified. I mean, again, I know with the student transport piece, I mean, as you said, it's the quality the credentialing and the controls you have of your drivers, professional drivers, which I like that. And again, the microtransit, I'm very bullish on as well, because I think there is a demand, especially for underserved communities, as you said, with no network.
Absolutely.
And that's where it's huge. All right, let's talk about challenges. What's been your hardest challenge in the business? And then second part of that is, how did you overcome that challenge?
Budget, right?
I knew that. I knew you were
B.
going that way. Yeah, the big B.
Budget is
P&Ls.
Yeah, that is definitely, and you know, it's working with transit districts to make sure that we are as cost effective as humanly possible.
Okay.
We crafted a program from nothing. We applied through an FTA grant, sandbox grant, to craft our Encompass program.
Okay.
And so what we did was we did research on our average trip mileage. We found that our trip mileage was 7.34 miles consistently. So generally speaking, around there. So what we did was we worked with the transit districts to say, look, we can come up with something that works for the passengers, it works for you, and it works for the company as well.
Of course.
So we launched that Encompass program during COVID. So probably the worst time. It's $5 for 8 miles for a senior.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So you have a fixed rate of $5 and you have a mileage cap on that at 8 miles?
Yep. And then it's a reduced taxi rate after that if they want to go further. The transit district matches the first 8 miles to make sure that it's a full fare for our drivers, so we can reward them for their time. And then if they want to go further, then the passenger could pay a reduced taxi fare. That is probably one of the first programs that it works for the transit district, it works for the passenger, and it works for us. So that started at about 4 trips a month during COVID, because it's COVID.
Of course.
But it's over about 7,000 per month now for us, and has spanned across 3 different transit districts.
So from 4 to 7,000 is quite an increase. And again, what 3 years can do to you and his operation, where there was demand suppressed by the pandemic, and then the actual need for that at 7,000 a month. I mean, you're talking 84,000 trips a year. That's great. All right, now we want to switch. I want to get more personal on this one. So give me a story of a patient and an experience that you had that really made your day, made your driver's day, that you saw, that you heard of, that you can share with us.
There's always going to be one that comes to mind for every operator. It was about 3 years ago. One woman just called my extension, and you know, normally I don't pick up my office phone. I think everybody knows I don't pick up my office phone, but for some reason...
I know full well, I got to text you.
But I picked it up, and you know, she just wanted to learn about our service. She was actually attending her father's funeral, and said that she was quoted from an ambulance company $1,200 round trip.
Wow.
And when I told her, you know, that we would be about less than 1/10 of that, you know, per trip, she broke down crying, and said, "I never knew that you guys existed. This is a wonderful resource. Can I, you know, use you more often?" I told her about our subsidized programs that we had. She's now a routine customer that travels to go see her friends. She's wheelchair bound, so that was a really sensitive thing for her, and to hear her reaction, where she just learned that she's not a prisoner in her own home anymore, was the most rewarding experience that I could have had. So you know, I keep that one close to my heart when I'm thinking about what we do, and it's what drives me forward.
I love that. I like the idea that every TP has a personal story, and that hits home, that in a time of need, when you have a funeral, that you were able to step in, and now you've built a lifelong relationship with that passenger for future needs, and knowing that we exist. And that's something that, you know, the NEMT industry will continue to develop and expand, that there is an awareness now that there's not just emergency medical service and ambulance, that we do have this. For the 89% of other trips, there are operators such as yourself. So that's a great story.
I always like to give our drivers the context around the word trip. You know, everybody, it's the term to use in this industry, trip.
Of course.
But there's always something behind the trip. It could be a funeral, it could be a surgery that somebody's scared about, it could be you know, a celebration you don't know. And so when you're going into that, and you're thinking about on-time performance, or you're thinking about your service delivery, know that story behind it, because a missed trip could mean a very, very bad thing for somebody who is expecting either a good thing or nervous about a bad thing in their life. So
I like that. Back out the metrics and look at the reason.
Yep.
And the reason, there is always a reason, as you said.
There's always
I like
a reason.
So what inspires you? I mean, moving forward, you've been successful. I mean, I personally know M7. What gets you up day after day? I mean, what's your inspiration in NEMT?
Well, there's a lot of inspiration to go around. I mean, just hearing the stories of individuals and making sure that we just stay in tune with our passenger base is what drives me forward. So, we want to keep getting creative. We want to make sure that we talk to other people who are doing similar things in the other parts of the country. We're not the only ones to innovate in this industry.
True.
So, I think just really
learn from the competition, but the not true competition. It's it's an open share.
We are truly colleagues when we're at these conferences, and so half of my good ideas are not my ideas. They're something that we heard about through a conversation,
borrowed
at a conference,
shared, steal if necessary.
No, not steal. No, it is truly collaboration.
Friendly, open collaboration. Yeah, I like that. Well, Jeremy, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate your time. Again, as a member of NEMTAC, as well as on the board of TTA, your value to the industry, and we look forward to seeing you a year from now and 5 years from now, and the growth in M7 and you personally.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.